Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Deepak Kunyal. In our previous program, we have discussed about life of a C or C++ program. And these are the steps that you are going to follow while running a C or C++ program, starting from a source file to the executable file and picking that file which is stored in hard disk and moving that to the physical address space or RAM, okay, where this file is executed. So in our previous tutorial, we talked about ASCII representation of a source file, and now we are going to talk about this pre-processing steps. So once we have a hello.c or hello.cpp file, after pre-processing step, that file gets converted to either hello.i or hello.ii. So let me show you the file first, and then you will have many questions about it. So here you can see we have a hello.cpp file. If you look at hello.c file, it will have similar number of lines. But after this step, you can see hello.ii is generated. And there are a lot of lines. Let me count the lines for you. You can see we have these many lines, around 28,000 or 29,000. And this is the program that you have written. See this. This is exactly copied here, right? Similarly, this line is exactly copied here. It means this line is doing something that we are not able to understand till now. What is this line doing? This line is actually copying these many lines. Can you see this? It means all these lines are part of this file. So what preprocessor does? It actually copies content of this file or any header file into hello.ii. If you have another header file here, lines will increase in this file. You can try this. Okay. Now let's discuss this process in more detail. Pre-processing step. So this is actually first step. So in C or C++, all the line that starts with hash symbol, they are processed by preprocessor. And what this preprocessor does, it converts hello.c or hello.cpp to hello.i or hello.ii. So basically it is taking input a C or C++ program and output is another C or C++ program, but that is without this symbol hash. Okay. So there are multiple tasks that are performed by this preprocessor. We are going to discuss all these tasks one by one. This video is going to be longer than previous videos. So please be patient and learn these new concepts. So what is the first thing that is performed by preprocessor? Contents of the included header file are copied to the current file. Okay, so in this, our example is iostream, and which is this current file hello.c, which becomes hello.i after that. There is one more thing. Let me tell you here. As you are writing has include iostream in C++ or has include stdio.h in C. It is C++ and it's C header file. Okay, so you can write these things in some another way also. And let me tell you how you can write these things. You can write has include iostream. Now there is some difference between this angular bracket that we are using here and the double quotes that we are using here. Let me tell you what is the difference between these two. So basically these angular bracket tells that this header file is a standard header file. Okay. So standard header file means already inbuilt header files are there. So when compiler looks into these angular bracket, it basically goes to standard folder. But when it sees these double quotes, it looks into current folder, and if file or this header file is not found there, then standard folder is looked for that. Okay. So for these things and for this current folder and after that standard folder. So this should be the order. Now I have a question from you. Suppose I have created a header file and its name is gradebook and I am putting that into angular bracket. So what should happen after this? there should be some error or it should run normal. So answer to this is there should be some error. And why so? Because this header file is user defined, right? I have created this header file and this is user defined. So what compiler does, it should actually look into current folder, right? But we are putting angular brackets here, so it will directly go to the standard folder here, okay? But it will miss out this current folder, and that's why this file will be missed. And in that case, it is going to give error, okay? Now let me ask you another question. This was the first question. Second question related to same thing. Suppose I put this header file iostream into double quotes that I have done here. So what should be the effect? Suppose this is taking time t1, this thing in processing this file, it is taking time t1, and here it is taking time t2. So can you tell me which option is correct? T1 equal to t2, or t1 greater than t2, or t2 greater than t1? So you should think about this. Let me tell you one thing. So here is the answer. Here you are seeing that this is a standard file. So there is no need to look that file into current folder and then standard folder. But what this statement is doing, it is actually going to current folder. So it is going to waste some time, right? It is going to current folder first, and then if this file is not found, and obviously this file will not be found here because it's a standard file and it will be in a standard folder. So it is going to take more time. So this time will be more than t1. So which option is correct? This one, right? Okay, now so move to next point. Second point, comments are also striped off after pre-processing. Suppose you have a program and there is a comment in that program. After pre-processing, you are not going to find out this comment in hello.i. If I am using hello.i or hello.ii, consider both these same thing. Okay, so I will not use both the things every time. Third point, if you use has defined for a constant, the preprocessor produces a C program where the defined constant is searched and matching tokens are replaced with the given expression. What does it mean? So suppose you are writing has defined max 100. So what it is going to do? Let's suppose in your program you have written printf max is percentile d and max. So after pre-processing step, if you see this file, it will become printf max is percentile d and 100, because this file searches for max in this whole file and replace those with 100. So now you could ask me one thing, why this max is not replaced with 100? Because this is a string and everything that is coming within these two quotes will not be replaced with this constant value. Okay, now moving towards next point. So fourth point is the macros can take function like arguments, and the important point here is arguments are not checked for data types. So what does this mean? Let me show you an example. Suppose you are writing a C program, has include stdio.h, and we are defining a function which is taking x, and it should be replaced by plus plus x at every place. So write main function, declare a pointer int x equal to 10. Now write some print statement. First we are passing pointer inside this, and next we are passing x. Now just pause this video and tell me what should be the output of this program. So now let's see what should be the output. Pointer is pointing towards this program. So let's create an array p r, okay, something like this. So first pointer is pointing to this index p, but when you run this, it makes it plus plus ptr, and plus plus ptr means this pointer will move to this index. So what should be the output of this? Output of this should be program. So P is removed from that output. And next, this number is 10, so it will also become plus plus x, and answer should be 11, right? So it is not checking whether this particular thing is integer or it's a string, right? So fifth point is macro arguments are not evaluated before macro expansion. This will also create some problems. Let me show you some program first so that you can understand this thing easily. I'm not going to use header file again and again. So consider that there is a header file stdio.h. Now define a multiplication function and it will become a cross b. Now I am passing two arguments, 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 5. Now after this example you will understand what it means. Macro arguments are not evaluated before macro expansion. So just pause the video and try to calculate this. You might calculate answer that 2 plus 3 is 5, and if you multiply it by 3 plus 5 that means 8, so answer should be 40. And if you have calculated this thing, you are certainly wrong. And why you are wrong? Just look at this again. We are writing it like this, 2 plus 3, but this is not evaluated before the expansion. You have to replace this thing with 2 plus 3 into 3 plus 5. And if you know the board mass rule, you will understand that 3 into 3, this operation is performed before any other operation. So it should be 2 plus 9 plus 5, and the answer should be 16. And this is correct answer, right? So there are some drawbacks of macro. We'll try to solve this in coming lectures, but let me show you a few other examples. Second example, has define, and there is a square function which is taking x and we are calculating x cross x. So if you are passing square 6, it should give us 36, square 5, it should give us 25. Now let's write the program. Int x equal to 36 divide by square 6. Now printing x. Just pause the video again and tell us what should be the answer of this. I hope you are doing something like this. 36 and divide by square of 6, that means 36, and answer should be 1, right? But this is also wrong. Some of you might be surprised that why it is happening. So let's expand this thing first. 36 divide by square of 6 should be 6 cross 6. So how this expression is evaluated? 36 divide by 6, it will become 6, and then if you multiply it by 6, it will be 36. So 36 is the correct answer. So first thing that you can do to avoid these things, you can put brackets around it like this, and now it will give you a desired answer, that is 1. Okay, but there are some other things that you can do, and that thing is inline function. So what is the inline function? We are going to talk about this function in next video, but before that let's discuss one small thing about macros. Actually there are many more things, but let's keep it for the next video. So fifth point is the tokens passed to macros can be concatenated using operator, and let me show you the operator, double hash. And what this operator is called? This is called token pasting operator. Okay, so how it functions? If you write a hash b, it will become ab. So you can define something like this: hash define merge a b, and then you can write a hash b. And if you pass something like this, merge 1 2 3 4, it will become 1 2 3 4. So this is the use of token pasting operator. Now, what is your learning from all these things? Whatever we have discussed till now, specifically this thing. So let me write few statements for this. The macros with arguments should be avoided because they could cause some problems. And instead of them, inline functions should be used. And why should inline functions should be used? There is one important concept with inline function that type checking is involved with them. Okay, with macros there is no type checking. So in next video we are going to discuss inline function in more detail, and we'll also talk about differences in macros and inline functions. I will also show you the examples. Okay, so I think this is enough for this video. If you like the video, please share it with your friends, subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Till then, thank you so much.